Hey everybody, it's Daniel. Welcome back to beautiful Barcelona. Today we're going to talk about the verb echar, the Spanish verb echar, which has a lot of different uses. Here we're going to find out about the top 10, or possibly 11 in the end. So, first, give me a like, subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot more Spanish stuff around. It'll be a lot of fun. The verb echar, as I mentioned, means a lot of things. The literal one is to throw something. So the first example sentence I have, los vecinos están echando colillas en el patio. The neighbors are throwing cigarette butts in the interior courtyard of the building. In Arizona, where I'm from, we use patio to refer to something else. But here in Spain, the patio is it's like the interior courtyard, or, in some cases, just an air shaft going up the center of a building. So, los vecinos están echando colillas en el patio. Colillas are cigarette butts, just the end of a cigarette. So that is echar in a literal sense, like to throw something. Synonyms of echar would be echar, tirar, lanzar, or arrojar. And I'm sure there's some difference here between these words. I am not certain exactly what it is. In any case, lanzar, tirar, arrojar, and echar are all sort of synonyms for throwing oneself, throwing something, possibly throwing someone. The next example that we have, me echaron del bar. Me echaron del bar. They threw me out of the bar. Me echaron del bar. This is to throw someone out or to kick someone out of a place. You could also say, me echaron del trabajo. They fired me from work. Me echaron del trabajo. So, to fire someone, to sack someone, to kick someone out of a place. Echar also. We have echar una bronca, which is to tell someone off, to yell at someone perhaps. Mi jefe me echó una bronca por llegar tarde. My boss told me off for arriving late. Mi jefe me echó una bronca por llegar tarde. Echar una bronca. Bronca generally is just kind of a fight between people, I believe. So, echar una bronca sounds like a one-sided sort of fight where somebody's just yelling at you. We have te echo de menos. Echar de menos alguien is to miss someone. Te echo de menos. You could put it in a question. Me echas de menos? Me echas de menos? Do you miss me? Echar de menos is to miss someone. You could say, mi coche empezó a echar humo. My car started to give off smoke. You understand that there's a problem with the car, and so it's got smoke coming from the engine or something. Mi coche empezó a echar humo. Echar humo. Yeah, in this case, just to give off smoke. The H in humo is silent. The H is always silent in Spanish, unless it's, a CH, which is a different thing. So, humo is smoke. I guess I could mention at this point that we talked about echo de menos, te echo de menos. There's another word which is echo, but it's the conjugation of hacer. This echo is echar, in first person singular. It sounds the same, but it's a completely different word. Some people get confused and maybe misspell this from time to time, but you know the difference. Echar, no H. Hacer has an H. All right, so, me echas una mano con las maletas? Me echas una mano con las maletas? Will you give me a hand with the suitcases? Echar una mano is to give someone a hand. Me echas una mano con las maletas? We have, voy a echar la siesta. Luego salgo. I'm going to have a nap. I'll go out later. Echar la siesta. You could also say dormir la siesta, but echar la siesta is a common way of putting it. Voy a echar la siesta. Luego salgo. Technically, voy a echarme is I'm going to lie down. Voy a echarme. Yeah, that's so echar la siesta, you're going to lie down for a nap, is technically what you're saying there. You have echar pa atrás, which turns out all this pa atrás stuff that I've been saying my whole life is para atrás. It's backwards. Echarse para atrás is to back off or to backpedal possibly on a proposal. Well, the example is that the government proposes that they're going to raise taxes, and then they backpedal or they back off on something. It means they're not going to do it. So, el gobierno se ha echado para atrás con la propuesta de subir impuestos. Echarse para atrás. So that, yeah, okay. El gobierno se ha echado para atrás con la propuesta de subir impuestos. The proposal to raise taxes is what they're going back on. And yeah, echarse para atrás could also be literally moving your body backwards if, something surprises you and you echarse para atrás. But yeah, and as I mentioned, the pronunciation is usually patras. Maybe I'm just being, an uneducated person by saying this, but I feel like most people say patras, palante, para delante, hacia delante, forward, and patras, palante, patras. Normal thing to say. Maybe, there's certainly a more educated sounding way of doing it, but, we're friends here. It doesn't really matter. So, yeah, patras. Pedro echó un vistazo al informe. Echar un vistazo is to take a brief look, to glance at something. Vistazo comes from vista, which is sight, which comes from ver, which is see. So, Pedro echó un vistazo al informe. One day I will explain some words with atho on the end. It's a fun suffix for you to know. And finally, we talked about this in a previous video, and it's why I thought I'll do a video about echar and the many, many uses of echar. We have echar un polvo, which, as I mentioned, is to have sexual intercourse. So you have to imagine a typical Spanish, 25-year-old living with his parents, and he has to wait for his, parents to leave the house so he can have fun with his girlfriend or whatever. So the example sentence, mis padres se han ido a IKEA. ¿Quieres venir a echar un polvo? My parents have gone to IKEA. You want to come over and have a quickie? Mis padres se han ido a IKEA. ¿Quieres venir a echar un polvo? So yeah, there's that. Those are 10 things, 10 or 11 ways that you can use the verb echar. Echar, literally like to throw something. Echar, like to throw someone out or to kick someone out. Echar, like to sack someone. Echar una bronca, which is to tell someone off. Echar de menos, which is to miss someone emotionally. Echar humo, which is to give off smoke. Echar una mano, which is to give someone a hand. Echar la siesta, which is to take a nap. Echarse para atrás, which is to backpedal or go back on your word, possibly. Echar un vistazo, which is to take a glance at something. And echar un polvo, which is to have sex. Fun times. I hope you enjoyed this video. While you're here, please go by expatmadrid.com/donate. You can support the cause of Spanish videos for all. You can buy me a virtual coffee on there, expatmadrid.com/donate. Buy me a virtual coffee, a virtual vermouth. You could buy me 100 virtual coffees if you would like. That would also be nice. I would appreciate it very much. Everything helps. Big or small donations are great. Anyway, I hope you have a great day wherever you are in the world, and hasta la próxima. Bye.